Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Hype King Mizzle.
It's the homie Draw.
Yeah, Sam's eating right now. He look hot right now. This is season 2 of the Recap Squad. Y'all already know, man. So, I already know motherfuckers be like, give me your flowers on that. But now I can finally do this on camera too.
Oh boy.
You know that. This guy really don't need no introductions at all, respectfully. Like, even playing the beats right here, this is really a perfect time in the introduction to give motherfuckers their flowers, man. How I start? 2018, we met in Harlem, and you know we was talking about hip hop, how hip hop was back in the day. We both hated Momo rappers.
Just to let you know, nigga fucking ambushed me with this fucking intro.
He can't even let me finish right now.
Nope.
But anywho, like I said, he don't need no introductions, but you know, he's definitely big Southside Jamaican Queens, big Queens in the building, you feel me? You know, he started from yeah. And now he got 1 in a million, you feel me? And all that, you know what I'm saying? Most of his projects had 10K, 20K, 30K, 50K, so we want to clap it up for that, you feel me? You know, one of the greatest villains of all time, one of the most pettiest villains of all time, you know? But if y'all don't know who I'm talking about, he goes by none other, your baby mama's favorite rapper, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Urban House DYC, he still go for life. J motherfucker Jetson's in the building, yeah, man.
What up, y'all? What's good?
First of all, sir, welcome.
You know?
Welcome to the podcast.
Glad
man.
to be here. About time I got my black ass on this thing.
Yeah, anyway. How's life, man? How's everything been, you know?
Life is good, you know?
First of all, welcome back, though, you know what I'm saying? I know you've been, like, taking care of regular job, personal stuff, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know you was just taking a break from music and all that. But welcome back, though. Welcome back to the hip hop world, man.
Glad to be
Clap it
back.
up for the hip hop world, man. Word, man.
Look, thank y'all for having me. Glad to be back. You know, life has been relatively good. You know, no complaints really. Just, you know, working, making it happen, and just, you know, grind it out basically. Making sure everything's good.
No, that's up, man. All right, so even though I already know the story, but you know, for everybody else that don't know, the Mr. Villain himself, the name Jay Jetson, man, where did that came from? Why did you call yourself Jay Jetson, and your origin of the story, man?
Okay,
Before
so
you was a whore.
just had to throw that in. Just had to throw it in.
Nah.
Look, the show just fucking started. You gonna call me a whore already? What is it? Like what? 3 minutes into the damn show, and still don't call me a whore.
Hey, man.
That's gonna be a record.
Let me eat, man. Let me eat.
Oh God. But look, I guess when I first started out, it was originally Elroy Jetson, and that's mostly because my uncle, he always called me Elroy. My head would always be out in space, as he would say it. I always be all daydreaming on some bullshit. So I originally thought I would call myself Elroy Jetson. Then I realized I can't do that because I don't want to get sued by the cartoon people.
Right.
So then I decided to call myself Jay Jetson, the Astro Kid. And then I thought that's way too long, way too complicated, and way too corny. So I just shortened it to Jay Jetson. And then as time went on, you know, the world told me villainous, and I became the space villain. So it was that.
So what made you fall in love with hip hop?
That's a good question, because I think like the first video I ever saw was what was it, Busta Rhymes and Janet Jackson's What's It Gonna Be? That video terrified the fuck out of me. I'll say that off the rip.
Why am I not surprised he was gonna say out of the man? Like, oh my God. Continue.
I mean, look, I'll keep it a bean. That whole sequence of him turning into liquid metal and him swimming around the sky and them big ass lips coming out the screen.
They got that from Terminator.
I know, but it scared the shit out of me. But
I've seen that movie.
You get that? You
yes.
Yo.
Bro, shut your whore ass up.
What?
Well, seriously, because I've seen that movie once.
Yeah, like that.
Judgment Day, yeah.
Like, I mean, look, I love Judgment Day, but that video scared the hell out of me. But for some reason, that fear transitioned into a love of hip hop, and then eventually I just started looking at my own stuff. For some reason, my iPod was like the weirdest, like mainstream kind of hip hop section like ever. I had like Soulja Boy and John Cena and early DJ Khaled in my iPod.
Another one.
God, like we talking about, we taking over DJ Khaled, like when he's still cool with Birdman and all of them.
In his
DJ
prime
Khaled.
days.
Yeah.
In his prime, yeah.
But then mom saw that I was like getting into hip hop more, and she started like force feeding me all of the classics, EPMD, Black Sheep, what's his name, Third Bass, all the old school people, and from there it just like migrated into it just blossomed into my own sort of like style in a sense, and then I started finding my own stuff that interests me, and then that's where I cemented myself in hip hop. You feel me?
How was growing up Southside Jamaica Queens?
Here's the thing. I didn't originally grow up in South Jamaica Queens. I first started off in South Ozone, and that was, I guess, a little rough because mom was a transient to South Ozone too. She was originally from Brooklyn. She was originally from East New York, so she was still relatively a fish out of water in that neighborhood. And as I grew up, I never really felt like a part of that neighborhood, and it wasn't until I moved to South Jamaica Queens that I eventually found like my home basically. Which, contrary to popular belief, I got my ass bullied a lot over there. Like being a light-skinned, intellectual, smart-ass kid is not good for making friends. I'm keeping it being with you. But I mean, I'm not gonna it has its good times, it has its bad times. Growing up in South Jamaica Queens it at least formed me into who I am, and I will say I'm forever grateful to my neighborhood.
That's what's up. So at the same time, so you definitely fell in love when you fell in love with hip hop. You grew up and whatnot. Who was like first of all, shout out to Mama Tracy. I already know. Who was your like main influence? Growing up into the hip hop game.
I mean, when it came to like just being a person, it was my mother. But when it came to like just being like when it came to like building my own personality, the blueprint really came after my father. He grew up a lot into that pimp Mac Daddy lifestyle that that I like to brag about in my own music. But that's because he like genuinely lived it. Like he was literally all over the neighborhood. Like every woman knew him relatively. If they wasn't with him, they was around him. If they wasn't around him, they knew of him. And for some reason, I idolized that aggressively. So it just kind of like built my own character at that time. But when it came to like being just a genuine person, it was my mom who really like built that like blueprint for me from there too.
Clap it up for Mama Tracy.
Love you, mama.
This guy's a legend, man. The ladies' man. You feel me?
Look, we don't need to do all that.
Nah, the ladies' man, man. This guy's a legend. I don't think y'all understand, man. Like, I seen him everywhere do what he do, man. No. He was like the Southside Jamaica J Mario, right? Word. My son had that. Nah, let me stop. But he was a legend though, man. The Rico Suave, you know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm not gonna pretend like the entire time of me and Mizzle's friendship, I didn't have at least like maybe one or two new different girls like around me at certain times of the year,
He's catching, man. He had more than that. Anywho, all right. The first time you ever recorded in the studio, how did it feel like before, like you guys?
Damn, first time I ever recorded in the studio, because I have to think back. When was like? Actually, now that I think about it, the first time I ever recorded in like a studio like that. Well, this kind of counts because it was actually my own room I recorded in. The home base. The home base in Rochdale and everything. That was the first time I ever really even touching a mic. And let's even keep something even clearer. I had no real plans of becoming a rapper to begin with. I was really gonna try and be a singer. I was more into R&B. Shut up! I already know you're going with it. Shut up! Shut up! Don't you dare start.
Oh, talking, yo.
But
talk your shit, my boy.
Look, when I originally started, I wanted to be a singer. I even enrolled in like choir for like I tried to enroll in a church choir, but I wasn't that close with God like that, so it didn't really stick with me. But I did enroll a lot into like the school choir, so it wasn't until like high school that I really started like thinking about picking up a pen. And oh God, now that I think about it, dog, you want to tell this story?
Hey, you're
because I know what this is gonna do to you. I already know.
Look. Your choice, man. If you want to say it, you can say it. If you don't want to say it, it's fine, man. This guy's a legend.
I can't help it because it's an integral part. It's the reason Jetson was born. Yeah, I was in concert choir. This girl had already asked me to prom. I said yeah. But look, don't leave.
The fact that he walked out is crazy.
Look, she asked me to prom. I said yes, but me being the
Ladies and gentlemen, I just walked away from my problem. Clap it up. I knew it. Go ahead.
So look, I said yes, but me being the extra person that I am, I wanted to do something nice. So I made my first rap song to ask her to prom in front of everybody and film it. And when everybody in my class, like, not only loved how I did something nice for her, but saw how good I was at rapping, I was like, okay, let me see how far I could actually take this. This might actually be something now. And again, had no plans of being a rapper to begin with. So recorded in my room, cut my first freestyle or remix or whatever, which is the J. Cole's Forbidden Fruit, which you'll never find, like ever. Don't even try and find it. It's gone. But I mean, it worked out in the long run. Everyone loved it for some fucking reason. It kept me going, making my own, like more of my own stuff. Shout out to SoundCloud because that was where I like cut my teeth. And yeah, like recording on the microphone for the first time, it was kind of a scary experience, but I mean, like as I grew into it, I got more comfortable, I got more accustomed to it, and after a while, it just felt like natural.
That's what's up, man. We're gonna clap it up for that. Yeah. Shout out to the dad. I knew it. He was like, come here, girl.
No, there was none of that.
Yeah. I bet you beatbox for her after that, right? Thank you very much.
You know what? I actually didn't. I didn't start really beatboxing professionally until I started hanging around you. Yeah, I only did it just on some play around shit. I never really thought of it as like, me actually doing it in my actual talent.
Whoa, first of all, I'm thinking like you've been beatboxing.
Look, don't get me wrong. I was beatboxing for like a long time, but I was never really professional with it until I started being around you. Until you started like freestyling over my beatboxes and shit. That one time at Ron's Hospital, like, was the first time we ever did the freestyle connection and everything, and that's when I started doing it long term. So I actually have you to thank for that, putting that out into the ethos.
Oh wow! I'll come up
for that.
Oh, wow, yeah. I didn't even know. I'm thinking like this dude been beatboxing, making beat. Oh, as a producer, when was the first time you ever started producing too? Because I know you're mad versatile with everything.
Now, here's the funny thing about that too. When I first got all of my recording equipment, I was originally supposed to start producing to begin with. That was supposed to be the first thing before rapping or singing or anything. My godfather, who got me all of my equipment for my first desk and everything, my first set of equipment, he was like, yo, if you want to start producing, here's this, and this. I have all this stuff that's laying around in my house. You're more than welcome to have it. Never touched the beat pad for like, a good 3 years of me working on anything. And then after a while, I was like, let me just mess around with some BS. And then I started getting good around maybe like the 6-year mark of my career. And that's when I started getting into the professionalism of Spaceville and beats and started putting more beats out there and everything. Which, by the way, thank you for the beat tag.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Damn.
What's that?
Damn, you making beats?
Yeah, damn, Spaceville, you making beats again?
Yeah.
I remember I pressed it for that like crazy.
I got 20. I need 25%. 25.
Oh, whatever.
Thank you very much.
Look, you get all the ad revenue off of all the beatboxing videos that you put up on Instagram, so that's the money right there.
Let me eat.
Whatever.
Let me eat.
I got nothing to say to him.
Nah, go ahead.
Nah, cause when you say you was into like R&B, I was just like, you say you was like playing. I can relate when it comes to like playing with like instruments.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like a good 3 years, I was just wondering like, how did you like test out like the equipment after like leaving it for like so many years?
Well, the original stuff I started like recording with was Ableton and what was it? What was that? Oh, Audacity. Shout out Audacity, the beginning network and everything. So I would just like I originally had like an Akai drum pad and everything.
Yeah.
I would just play around with that a little bit. Never really took it full on serious until I'd say maybe college when I started like learning more and more of how to work it.
Because I know the materials like itself, as far as like instruments, after like leaving it for so long, I noticed some of them would get like rusty.
Yeah, I mean, what's it? The Akai. I mean, it never got rusty to be good. Like after a while.
Yeah.
I got lucky with like working with that first, because then it made me realize how much I hated working on the Akai, and then I migrated over to what was it, Mixcraft and Native Instruments, and that became the easiest thing for me to work with, as far as building, working with samples. That's when I started studying more other producers like Kanye West, like Conductor. Just working with, just seeing how they were able to flip samples into something completely different. Yeah. And that's what got me into like really understanding what it meant to work on production.
Because I noticed like there's usually like a lot of samples, but I was just like wondering, and you could actually like say to the viewers out there that wanted to know, like, did you ever like try like samples such as like Kanye West or?
I mean, look,
any of like the music genres that you actually like, as far as like old school.
Of course,
yeah.
I mean, like that goes without saying. I feel like every producer eventually starts like crate digging, vinyl digging, and everything. And starts trying to look through different records to sample and everything. Shoot, one of my first sample tests was Stan Getz on like some old Brazilian bossa nova jazz type shit that I was trying to like build.
Oh, those. I think I've heard about that one.
Yeah. Stan Getz, Joan Gilberto. I'm probably pronouncing that name wrong, but I love them. I swear to God. That whole record from their collaboration vinyl, I'd still try my best to flip that as much as possible. I might be coming out with something soon with that. Who knows?
No, that's dope. But I know it was like, even though like talking about the samples, it's like girlfriend, but I'm stuck.
Yo, he'll never let me live down like that era.
All right, yeah, never. But speaking of that era and the other era, your project, Astro Gravity 2, man. First of all, to this day, one of my favorite projects you ever did.
Thank you, man.
I want to clap it up for that because the background to the story when he dropped this album, it hit 5K and we wasn't even in the month of May, June, or July yet.
Yeah, like first day actually.
First day.
It immediately migrated to 5K. Off of the handful of streams that I was promoting and everything. Not the streams, but a handful of times I was promoting the tracks and everything. But I mean, let's be honest, that project hitting 5K the way it did is mostly due to Waves. And I got you and Coco to thank for that.
I definitely want to shout you out for that because the 2018, 2019, I really wasn't recording much, but by 2020, and what was crazy, I remember the month, March 2020. Shout out to Esquire Studios, shout out to Rob, shout out to Pat, you know what I'm saying, shout out to Esquire Studios. He sent me the beat, and shout out to Coco, sent me the hook and all that. And with the time I finally got back in the booth, it was from then until now. I was just on my bullshit. Like,
well, let's put a little bit of backstory on that too. Like, I think I had written Waves like 3 years prior to sending it to you, and originally,
you did show me that,
and originally like it was supposed to be me, Coco, and like one of my homeboys. Shout out Garfield, aka OG. But he never got around to getting me the verse or anything like that. The recording process just never connected. Then originally it was supposed to be what's the homie's name from
David?
Yeah, David. David was supposed to be on. Yeah.
Shout out to David and Aisha. They got married too, so congratulations.
Word, shout out to them. Jesus Christ.
Word. Big shit out to them, man.
Yeah,
for real, man.
He was supposed to be on Waves, and then Mizzle was supposed to be on the remix for that.
Oh yeah, and I wasn't even a remix GOAT yet. Like that's the funny
way
thing.
Before that.
Yeah, I wasn't even a remix GOAT yet.
He was still rapping over Ghostbusters instrumentals and shit.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, I wasn't even like I said, I wasn't recording like that. I was just doing freestyles.
Basically. But I was like, yo, Mizzle, whenever we did the song live, you would just immediately jump onto the third verse because Garfield would never be there, David would get cold feet, and you would just like spring into action for the third verse. And I was like, you know what? Since David don't want to do it, Garfield can do it, and you already got like a concrete verse that, everyone was repeating back in the day. Everybody was repeating that. Like, oh my God. Yo, the riots that would be thrown when I didn't perform that song, Jesus Christ.
Nah, yeah. And the fact that he said on the feet, thank you very much. No way.
Oh God, yeah. That day was funny. That day was funny as hell.
It was though. It was though. But yeah, that night was very, very, very. It was a funny night.
It really was. But I think that was also one of the nights that like fully cemented the GOATs as like a team, basically. You know,
most likely, yeah.
Yeah. Because we spent a lot of our time at the Rock Church anyway.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But shout out to the old Rock.
Yeah, the
Church.
old Rock. Yeah, the new Rock ain't nothing like that.
I don't know nothing about the new Rock, but that's the new Rock. Respectfully. Disrespectfully too. You know what I mean? I don't care. But anywho, it's not about that. But I can tell you this though, 2021 was definitely one year that I'll never ever forget. Like that was that year for the GOATs and all that. That was one legendary year, man. I'm telling you.
We really hit our big one that year for real.
At that time, man. So that year will forever be like top 3. And I was like, you know, everybody was coming back outside. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And the concert too, man. That will forever be legendary.
July 31st, that concert was heavy.
Very.
What's it?
Jet had green hair at that time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do miss the green hair. I might bring that back at some point. Don't play.
Hey, you might as well. If you
I still got the color wax. I might actually just do it randomly one day.
Shit, you might have taken to Juve or something. I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, hey, I've been meaning to hit Juve for a minute together. I mean, we did the one time, but it wasn't as like.
Nah, yeah, but I meant like also like going to like. Speaking of that. I told you about festival, like not like the parade, like going like to pay your tickets and shit like that, and actually really get turned up, and whatnot, shit like that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying. But that album overall, that like it will forever be legendary. But even Ghost Stream, Astro Gravity 2, the Brooklyn Butterfly. Boy, and the deluxe edition. So,
oh God,
and the good, the bad, the kaiji. Shout out to Skids with that ease up verse. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
Matter of fact, just shout out the whole year to get back run. That 2020.
Nah, yeah. Hey, yo, I just want to shout out Jet 2 for that one because since what he did, it got me in my bag. Cause now, what people don't know, I am dropping a Dembo project and a Juve project at the same time. So. Listen, Drake, Jet did it before you did. So I just want to say, what's the Iceman to a villain? You know what I mean?
You know what you talking about?
He already did that. Give him his credit.
Villains do it better.
That's what I say. Give him his credit. You feel me? He dropped all his project, you know what I'm saying? And after that, 2025, I did the exact same thing because he did what he did, and he had me in my bag because I sure did the same goddamn thing on some shit like that. So. Definitely want to shout out to Mr. Gear to get back for that moment, bro. For real, man.
I mean, hey, y'all inspired. Look, a lot of y'all inspired me to do the stuff that I did anyway. So, like, I wouldn't be doing anything that I was doing if it wasn't for you and the rest of the Ghosts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to the Ghosts, man. Go for life.
Ghosts forever. Ghosts never die. You already know the vibes.
You already know. Definitely, man. Are you working on anything? Anything coming up and all that?
I mean,
I know. Besides your comeback mega album in 2027,
y'all not ready for that one. That's all I'm gonna just say.
Yes, I kind of heard a few. Look, I'm not saying anything else, but if I hear the whole thing, I'm not gonna lie. Before I really take my vacation, he's gonna have me in my bag in 2027. I'm gonna drop this one specific project. I just don't know the title yet. But other than that, just know y'all not. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, look, my runner freestyles, 11 Houdini clones, Egyptian bonnets. That's just a sampling of what I got in store coming soon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that part. What he said.
That's all I'm gonna say.
What I'm saying, but
look, he listened to one line off of one of the songs off the new album,
and I gave it back to him.
He couldn't even listen to it. He was like, "Nah, I can't hear it yet. That's crazy."
I gave it back to him.
Every time I play the song, he walks away because he don't want to hear it just yet.
I gave it back to him. That's all.
Oh boy.
That's all I could say. That's all I'm gonna just be. You know what I'm saying and whatnot. But I just want to say to everybody else, even though he's in the cut. No man back in the building, yeah. No man back in the building, you know what I'm saying? Word. But again, again, like I had to walk away from my problems because that was crazy though. That was really crazy though.
What, we really gonna going down memory lane right now?
Nah, we're gonna cut off part one. We still gonna
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna play one of your tracks, whatever, and shit like that. But other than that, we'll be right back. It's Mike Mizzle.
It's the homie Draw.
Yeah, man.
And it's J motherfucking Jetson.
And Nomad.
Yeah, in the cut.
Yeah, he's in no man. We'll be right back for part 2, a little interview of the Recap Squad. Y'all already know. We'll be right back. Y'all already know, man.